your hair down. We're here for like a sewing video, right?
Yes.
Or just the front?
Close your sewing. Yeah.
How long is your hair?
During this service, the whole time I was questioning, should I charge her extra? Should I charge her extra? I was braiding for an hour and a half. Usually I braid for an hour, and still I was like, should I charge her extra? My arms started hurting, and I was like, should I charge her extra? Because her hair is so long and thick, and it took me longer, way longer than I usually should. And you know, as a hairstylist, you charge by your time. But in the end, I did ask my followers on my stories to ask if I should have charged her extra, and it was on my bad because I already charged her before her service. That is a part of my policy. You pay 100%, and I didn't charge her extra, you guys. I didn't feel well charging her extra because even though I did more, it didn't sit well with me. So this is the finished look, and let me guys know what you think in this section. Oh, and we did a sewing with lace closure, the glueless method, and I will list all the products that I've used in this video.
I have made my fair share of mistakes, okay? It's not like you really get a detailed instruction manual on how to handle all of the scenarios that accompany being a beauty professional. So when I say this, I'm not trying to come across as self-righteous. This is just what I've learned from the mistakes that I've made in the past. I'm kind of late to this video, and I think one thing that is apparent right now in the current era of hairstyling is familiarity breeds contempt, right? I think that's one of the laws of power. There are some things that I think we as beauty professionals should keep to ourselves. Some things should be kept within the private Facebook groups that you all can find and or start one yourselves on Facebook, where you can interact with other beauty professionals anonymously if you'd like, or just from your profile, and get their feedback, right? Because I think it was a valid question. I just don't really feel like it should have been a voiceover. And it was also kind of like the wording. It kind of came across like she was complaining about the girl's hair and almost shaming her. I noticed that's how a lot of patrons and consumers tend to take it. And I think, when it comes to communicating your rates, it should be less of an emphasis placed on I'm charging her because of the type of hair she has. You have to learn to shift that into, and we have to learn how to shift it into, focusing on time and labor. Because otherwise it comes across as a little discriminatory. And I don't think we realize it because a lot of us don't look at the beauty industry as an actual profession, right? Like I have a family member who works in housing, and they are always talking about fair housing laws. Like my landlord telling me that they preferred me over the other prospects because I ain't have kids. That's a violation of fair housing laws. But see, we don't really hold our industry to the standard that we should. We don't treat it like a profession. We're too familiar with our clients. We're too open and transparent on social media, and I think it's kind of to our detriment. Because we all know old school stylists was not tea. Like, people really acting like everything was perfect with old school stylists. Like, they not the reason that, they not the reason half of Gen Z and boomers walking around with their edges touching their nape. Let's be for real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm being real. Like, people who ain't still sitting around with chemical burns from relaxers to this day. Like, they wasn't in the shop for 10 hours because it was 5 other people booked at their appointment time. Like, let's be for real. It's not that old school hairstylists were better per se. It's just that I think, a lot of people have gone with trying to improve the old ways with new policies, but your new policies haven't actually made anything any better because a lot of people lack the ability to be able to structure their business. and create systems that would actually make things run a little bit more smooth. So I think that was really the issue. I think this was poorly executed, and I can see why people are upset in the comments, but that doesn't take away from. So, it's not that I don't believe that, like every other hourly job, because we are hourly. A lot of people think they entrepreneurs. No, you own your own job and you are self-employed. Just like any other job, you deserve to be paid for each hour that you work, but it's a way that you go about doing so. You gotta make it. It's all in the execution. Okay, so these are things that we'll be talking about on my other YouTube, Sitting Pretty Pro. But if you're a stylist, you're a consumer, whoever you are, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below.